Hello, guys. Welcome to Rex Arthur TV. This is the Rex Arthur Show where we discuss LGBTQ issues with an LGBTQ perspective and humanistic approach. And today we are beginning the celebration of bisexuals, which is called the Biweek, that is from September 23rd to 30th. We thank the LGBTQ community for recognizing bisexuals. And so today's show is going to focus on the bisexuals because it is Biweek. And bisexuals are very interesting people. And first of all, just like any sexual identity, they are unique. Philosophically, we are all bisexual. What I mean by that is that we have potential to be gay or straight. But sexually or physically, not everybody is bisexual. Bisexual people are people who have the ability to have two sexual different preferences, one being heterosexual and the other one being homosexual. And so other people tend to be straight, and by that, and the straight community, as I told you in the last video, there is no straight country at all. No country in the world everybody is straight. It's impossible. It's not there. It is absolutely not there. So but straight people exist, and straight people are heterosexual. And studies are even coming to find out that not everybody, there is no 100% heterosexuality, and that there is room for homosexuality in a heterosexual. But it's still yet to be subjected to scrutiny. But so far, it is proven there is no pure heterosexuality. Now, for the bisexuals, then the homosexuals or the gay people, these are primarily homosexual, and they are gay or lesbian. They relate with the same sex. So let's read what I wrote on my Facebook. It is Biweek, so we are taking time to celebrate our bisexual brothers and sisters in the community. They, like any sexual identity, need to be visible, since most times bisexuals tend to be the most invisible sexual identity in the spectrum. Let's mingle with the bis. So I'm very happy to in the past I used to be strictly a gay activist because it is my center. My center is I'm gay, I'm homosexual, and I stuck to that when I started my LGBTQ activism. Then I thought to myself, no, we need everybody. We need lesbians, we need the bisexuals, because the struggle is the same. Even though we are different in our interests, we are the same. And then another thing that made me now widen my scope or my community was, in reality, the community where we live, we are diverse, There is no day you're going to stay in a place that is purely homogeneous, where there are only men. It's very, very, very rare. Or to find yourself in a situation whereby there are only women in this working space. It's very rare. It's very rare for homogeneity to be a commonality. So because of that, you will find many spaces in the world are heterogeneous. And when there is heterogeneity, what this means is diverse sexual identities. So you go to your workplace, like all workplaces in the world are LGBTQIAAP. I remember what I told you, how to spell the word world. You spell it LGBTQIAAP. That's the spelling of the word world. Why? It means every sexual identity is in most working spaces. Not all, but majority of the working spaces in the world. You will find at least one lesbian, at least one gay, at least one bisexual, at least one transgender, at least one intersex. Or sometimes you may not find an intersex because they are few. You know, when you're a very small minority, there are some working places that don't have intersex at all, but they have lesbians. But the lesbians are also few because they are few. And allies. Allies are straights. So the majority, the highest sexual identity in the world is the heterosexual one, the straight one, which what we have said, and we're going to do an ally video, we want to convert straight people to become allies. Yes. And how do you do this? By educating them. Educating them about LGBTQ issues. This is already happening in Europe. Schools, European schools, they are teaching children sexual education. And some other countries in Asia, they are teaching that. The psychiatric departments in Asia and America and Europe have already declared homosexuality to be a normal way of sexual expression, and they no longer call homosexuality a mental disorder. And the World Health Organization recently cancelled out transgenderism as a mental disorder. That's the World Health Organization. That means all the World Health practitioners, every country that is a member of the World Health Organization has declared transgenderism to be sanity. And they are right. So it means that the world is diverse. So when you go to the office, when you go to church, when you go to the bar, when you're in the public service vehicle, you're with different sexual identities, just like you're with different tribal identities. If you're in a country that has tribes, then more tribes than races. And if you're in a country that has more races than tribes, you'll be in a place where there are very many racial identities. Now, so I was saying that because of this, every identity is unique and should be respected. So this time we are focusing on the bisexuals. It's Biweek, and we remember the famous bisexuals in the world, Luther Vandross, who is now deceased, and Elton John is also a bisexual, or was, because now he is married to a man. He had first married a woman and then divorced, and then he got a guy, and now I think I would rather call him gay rather than bisexual, because bisexual, in my view, and this is another problem we're having with some of these sexual identities, is definition. Does bisexual mean that you are actively engaging with the opposite and same sex at the same time span of your life, or that there's one span of your life you are relating with the female? If you're a male, you are relating with female, and then now you're now relating with the male till you die, and then, or if you're a female and you're relating to males at the beginning, and then at the end part of your life you now relate with females to the end. Will you call yourself a bisexual or a lesbian because now you are now relating with women at the end of your life? So there's still an issue of definition of what a bisexual is. But for me, a bisexual is a person who is sexually attracted to both sexes. That is my standing. And of course, to me, sexual attraction should end in fruition. And in fruition meaning there should be sex. If you don't have sex with whomever you are saying you have sex with, and you say that I'm attracted to men, but you're a man and you're attracted to men, but you've never had sex with men, I don't think you should be called a bisexual, even if you're attracted to them. Yes, I don't think, because the highest form of definition is sex for me, because sex is physical. if you've had sexual intercourse, continually have it, because there are also gay people. There are gay people who are not bisexual but have had sex with women. Yes. For procreation reasons. Some people want to have children, and the only way they can get a child is having sex with a woman or with a man if she's a woman. And when she gets or he gets the child, they cease to have sex with the opposite sex and continue with their homosexual lifestyle. So such people, I would not call them bisexual. That's why I don't really call Elton John a bisexual. That's my view. But we're going to check that as we end the video. Now let's go through the placards. So Biweek, there you are, September 23rd to 30th, September 30th, 2018. Good. Then in focus, bisexual people and the LGB community. Now I loved this chart when I looked at it. Just look at it. 52% of the LGB community is bisexual. That's more than half. So please understand, in the LGB spectrum, half of the people are bisexual. And then followed by gay men, who are 31%, and then followed by lesbians, who are 17%. Now, gay men, these are men who are purely homosexual, and gay women, lesbians, purely homosexual women. Now compare the men and the women. Which gender has more bisexuals? Mathematically speaking, women have more bisexuals than men. And that is I've seen this even in reality. And what could be the reason? Sometimes I think it's because we live in a patriarchal societies, and so what this means is that women are oppressed, or women are forced to succumb to certain gender roles in society, and one of them being giving birth. And have you noticed when women get pregnant, first child, second child, there's a way they slow down in their life. And remember Serena Williams. Look at Serena Williams. Ever since she gave birth, she has not been that steady. Of course, she was beaten by Naomi Osaka, and she beat her. And Osaka is very young, and Serena is a mother, She's a mother, and this is a mother fight. It's like a mother fighting a daughter, and the daughter has kind of strength because she has not given birth, and the mother has already given birth. So, if most women, when they enter the birth phase and the nurturing phase of life, they tend to become bisexual. That's my taking. It's because of the patriarchal system we are living in. What if we were living in a matriarchal world? Would lesbians be would there be more men who are bisexual? I don't know, because does living in a matriarchy mean you force men to become men? There's also this other system called masculinization, and over masculinization over feminine man, whereby feminine men are so derided that if you are feminine, you are masculinized. They force you to work. This is what Nazi Germany did to the gays who they put in concentration camps. They were forced to work because they were effeminate, and they were seen like people who are not working, so they put them to work to make them masculine. And when it didn't work, they ended up killing them. And that's what happens in some society. So please do not forget that men can also be oppressed. Much as women can be oppressed, and it's the major oppression, but also men can be oppressed, and especially gay men or feminine men, because there are some feminine men who are not necessarily gay. They are straight, but they are feminine, and they can be oppressed for their femininity. So anyway, this is just interesting. I love, this was the best chart I've seen on bisexuality, and the fact that more women are bisexual than men. And bisexuals as a percentage, blah, 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 from GLAAD. Then this is attraction to the same gender is green or turkey, and attraction to different genders, that looks like some pink. I've forgotten the right name for that color. So this shows you see, this first, this one here, 50% you can be attracted to the same sex, 50% you can be attracted to the opposite sex. Then 40% you can be attracted to the same sex, that means homosexual, and then 60% you're attracted to the opposite sex, that means heterosexual. Now just hold on, let's go back and let's explain bisexuality with this. This is bisexuality, attraction to the same gender and different genders. Now this green one is homosexuality. And then this red one, we'll call it red, is heterosexuality. So a bisexual has both homosexuality and heterosexuality. Now, the pie charts we're going to look at will show different variations of homosexuality and heterosexuality in a bisexual person. So this one, as in the center, is showing 50% homosexual, 50% heterosexual. Then this one to the left is showing 40% homosexual and 60% heterosexual. And then this one to the right is showing 60% homosexual and 40% heterosexual. And then this one to the bottom left is showing 80%, we can put it at 80%, or yes, let's put it at 8%, 80% heterosexual and 20% homosexual. Then the center bottom is showing us 80% homosexual and 20% heterosexual. And the other one is showing us, the last one, the right bottom, is showing us 80% heterosexual and 20% homosexual. So all of these, and there are very many variants. This is just an example, because percentages from 1 to 100. You can even have 1%. Yes, 1% homosexual and 99%, and then you can have 2%. So all of these are bisexuals, and there are very many types of bisexuals. That's what I'm saying. There are 100, because 100% ends at 100. So there are 100 types of bisexuals. Are you seeing how big the bisexual? In fact, after the straight people, the second largest sexual identity is bisexuals. And as you saw in my Facebook post, I said the sad thing about bisexuals, they are the most invisible sexual identity I've ever known, because they look like straight people. Have you seen a straight person? He's just straight. But he has gay. He's gay, but he's straight. That's a bisexual. A bisexual is a person who is straight and gay at the same time. And as we've seen, some people are 50% gay and 50% straight. Others are 80% gay, 20% straight. but whatever the percentage is, they are still bisexual. And we have already seen over 50% of the LGBT community is bisexual. So embrace your bisexuality. Now, let's go on. You are valid. Borrowing from Lupita Nyong'o. Dreams are valid. And this is the bisexual flag with the maroon and the purple and the blue. And let's read these. You're bisexual. The bingo edition. It's just a phase. So, you're gay now. So, you're now. You see, these are cliches people use. Bingo, you know, when you say bingo, you've hit the jackpot. So, whenever you feel you're bisexual, sometimes you can say, it's just a phase. And then the second thing you can say, so you're gay now, so you're straight now, and then asks about sex life. Okay, I think I've understood what's happening here. We're supposed to read it horizontally. So it's just a phase. Isn't that confusing? You're just too scared to come out as gay, huh? Do you just like attention? You know, people think when you come out and say you're bisexual, they think you're looking for attention. No, you're pan, you know. People think when you're bisexual, you're a pansexual. The P is pansexual. So they think you are pan, meaning you love all sexual identities. And that's not true. Pansexuals relate with all sexual identities, including transgenders and intersex. The moment you have sexual intercourse with an intersex person, you are a pansexual. Yes. If you can have sex with an intersex, you can have sex with a bisexual, you can have sex with an ally, you can have sex with a gay person, you can have sex with a lesbian. Okay, most probably maybe not. Bisexual is strictly having sex with the opposite sex and the same sex. Full stop. Nothing to do with... Because if there are some people, as I told you, they're intersex, who are physically intersex. Can you imagine you meet a friend of yours and they tell you they have a vagina and a penis, and then you say, I want to have sex with you? You are basically having sex with an intersex person. That is the highest form of intersexuality. And that now will make you a pansexual. It will not make you a bisexual. Because you're having sex with someone who is clearly identified as an intersex person. So let's go on. Do you and your partner have threesomes? You see, this is another thing I've learned about bisexuals. Bisexuals can have threesomes. You know, the woman and two men, or two women and one man, and they can have threesomes. It's very interesting. Bisexuality. You're just being greedy. This is very funny. Oh my God. Yes, it's very weird. The hyena is bisexual, naturally bisexual, and it's even called, some African tribes call it an hermaphrodite. And in African tradition, it is called a greedy animal. It's one of the most greedy animals in the animal kingdom. So, and it's just weird that bisexuals are now being referred to greedy people. I don't know. I wouldn't call bisexuals greedy people, because we have just seen the variations, the percentages. You know, when you are 80% heterosexual and 20% homosexual, that means 80% of your time spend it with women if you're a man, or you'll spend it with men if you're a woman. Therefore, your life is basically, most people who are around you will not call you bisexual. So, you'll just sleep with anyone then? Isn't your partner worried you will cheat? Yes, this is something that bisexuals go through. Most people think bisexuals are cheaters. And as I told you, that's why bisexuals are the most invisible sexual identity. They hide more than straight people, because if your partner finds out you're bisexual, 90% they will leave you. And so because of that, bisexuals tend to be invisible, and they hide. You must understand, why would someone want to leave you because you're bisexual? It's because of homosexuality. That's the issue. Biphobia is actually homophobia. People don't fear straight people. They fear homosexual activity. That's what they fear, be it lesbian or gay. So you must understand, biphobia is a branch of homophobia. And that's why people, when they hear you're bisexual, they'll ask you, isn't your partner worried you'll cheat? You know? And I think I did another video and I was trying to tell bisexuals, you should try and tell your spouses that you are bisexual, but I wouldn't force you, you know, because I understand the predicament you can be in. Imagine telling a spouse that you're bi, or that you love men, but you're married to her. I mean, she will not understand this. The only bisexual couple I know that really succeeded was Kinsey. Alfred Kinsey, Professor Alfred Kinsey, the sex professor that married, and he did very well in my view. He married a bisexual, and he was bisexual, and he made a deal with his wife and said, you know what, I'm going to sleep with my men, my friends, my boyfriends, and you can sleep with your girlfriends, and then when we get home we can sleep together, whatever you do. It was a kind of an open marriage, and they did it. Of course, Kinsey, he did very well for the sex sciences, giving us the Kinsey scale and a lot of other things. And yeah, that is one proof of a successful bisexual marriage. And so at least they talked, they opened up to each other. Kinsey, and what did Kinsey have to tell the wife? That I love men much as I can love you. And the wife didn't say no. Okay, asks about sex life. Okay. So does that mean you'll... Okay. Space. Yeah, you know, it's very tricky. I used to believe this. Because I think what they're trying to mean, these are very stereotypical statements we're just looking through. When you say bi women are really straight, what it means is that a bi woman could be a lesbian who has refused to continue in lesbianism. And so that's what makes her straight. But a bi man, by you saying a bi man is really gay, you are trying to say this is a man who really wants to have sex with a man, even though he's married to a woman. So I think this statement is born out of that discussion. Because if you're a lesbian, you will not look for a man to live with. Even when you have a child, there are very many methods of getting children without having a man. And many lesbians are doing that. And those are lesbians who are really lesbians. They've done IVF and they've got their baby. And they stay with their partner. Yes, those are lesbians. But a bi woman becomes straight when she decides to look for a man. And she leaves her lesbian partner to go for a man so that she can get a child. That's why they say this. Who knows? Bisexuals are scared of commitment. Oh, of course, please do not take these things seriously. These are just statements people make about bisexuals. They are just, they have no ground or no basis on reason or logic. This is what people just say. As I told you, Kinsey was not scared of commitment. He was very open and told his wife he'll be committed to her and to his men friends. And life went on. But those who are not open to their spouses, you could say they are scared of committing, but they are not scared. I'm so sorry. These are very cliched, what do you call it? Stereotypical statements, and I'm not really enjoying them. Okay, but which do you like more? Yes, this is a question many people ask bisexuals. Do you like having sex with women? Okay, you're bisexual, so whom do you prefer, women or men? Yeah, that's a good question. Claims bisexuality doesn't exist. Oh my god, spelling. You're confused. Yeah, most people call bisexuals confused. They are not confused, they are bi. Confusion is confusion. Bisexual is bisexual. Simple. There's nothing. That's why it is not a mental illness. You see, that's why homosexuality is not a mental illness. Homosexuality is homosexuality. Especially if a homosexual does the same things a straight person does. In terms of working and cognition, if they are the same, and even if they are even better than the straight person, that homosexual is sane. Eventually, of course, some people think bisexuals need to choose which side they belong to. But there are some people, as I've told you, Kinsey died bi, and Luther Vandross died bi. Yeah, so, oh, that's so hot. Those are people who praise bisexuals. Sex shames. Okay, sex shames. Of course, people who are shy about sex. You're not really bisexual if you haven't dated a woman when you're a man, or if you haven't dated a man when you're a woman. Yes, that's what people are saying. Those are to cheat then. That's when, if you say you're bisexual, people think you've become more prone to cheating. But I don't think that is true. Gay people cheat a lot, you know. And yes, they do. And they're gay. They are not bisexual. So I don't think cheating is exclusively a bisexual trait. It belongs to every sexual identity. Even straight people cheat a lot. Bisexuals are only attracted to binary genders. No, that's lies. Not true. Bisexuals are not confused. True. Bisexual Visibility Day, of course, this was We Exist, September 23rd. Then look at that artwork. The girl, bisexual lady, most likely, but now in an animal form, is carrying the bisexual flag. And not swallowing any more of your biphobia. Yes, as I've told you, biphobia is primarily homophobia. People fear homosexuality more than heterosexuality. So when you tell people you're bisexual, the part they hate in the bisexuality is the homosexual part. So, but guess what? We are not swallowing any more of your biphobia. Girls love girls and boys. Those are bisexual women. Now look at that artwork. Very beautiful. This lady in the middle, she's one. This is a threesome. And on the left, she's heterosexual. And on the right, she's a lesbian or homosexual. So this is a beautiful picture of bisexuality. Lovely. We're going to do a video primarily on this picture one time. You are valid. There's a bisexual flag. Lupita Nyong'o's validity statement. Bisexuals are just confused by your ignorance. Laugh out loud. Oh my god, she is so pissed. Yes, they're confused by the ignorance. You know, many people don't understand bisexuality. So if you don't understand bisexuality, guess what? You're ignorant. Go and kill the ignorance until you understand it. Bisexuality exists even if you don't believe us. Yes, it does. You don't need to believe a fact. A fact is a fact. You see, there's a difference between fact and faith. People need to understand that. Do you know you can believe, when you are sick, you can believe I'm well. But the fact is you are sick. But you've chosen to believe you're well. That is what faith is. But fact does not need faith. You don't need to believe. A fact is a fact. You are sick. I can see the symptoms. So that's a fact. Now, a belief or faith is, even though I'm sick, I'm well. So bisexuality exists. That is a fact. You don't need to believe it, even if you don't believe us. So we don't need faith to believe that. Are you gay? I want to believe you are. You don't need to. It exists. Bisexual. Okay, this is some Superman who is a bisexual. Nice. Then this is another nice bisexual picture. The two men, and this guy has two girls. He's in a threesome of two girls, ladies, and this other guy is in a threesome of two guys, him and his friend and a woman. Yeah, beautiful. We'll also do an art discussion on that one. End violence and discrimination against bisexual people. Human rights experts. Yes, because people fear bisexuals, they discriminate against them. They don't give them jobs. They look at them as bad people and therefore not worthy of getting any opportunities. And that's wrong. We should open the door for every sexual identity. Bi Visibility Day, 23rd September. Okay, guys, this is what I collected for Biweek, and you can go and understand this. So this week, please mingle with as many bisexuals as you know. I remember one time I met a bisexual. I was very happy. And you know, when you're gay, please interact with bisexuals. I know there are some gay people who really don't like interacting with them. They really don't like, and I say no. Personally, I relate with everybody. Even now, I'm starting to relate with intersex people, getting to know them from a distance. Of course, they are very weird people, and I'm opening up to relate with them because it's good to hear somebody's story. You know, their experience is so different. Their sexual experience is so different, and it's good to hear it from them. So I've been doing that, and I relate. As I told you, I started out just as a gay activist, so my life was mostly gay. Everything was gay. And as I grew up in the activism movement and in the movement, the LGBTQ movement, I realized we need each other to understand, because we live in a diverse world. Naturally, we don't live in a homogeneous world. We live in a diverse world. And so I had to start making friends with lesbians, making friends with bisexuals. Of course, when I was still in the pure gay, I noticed I was relating a lot with bisexuals, and especially male bisexuals. And I said, they are very interesting. How do they live their lives? And then now, when I joined the LGBTQ faith space, I got to see lesbians. Of course, even the clubs, when we go and drink and whatever, you meet lesbians. And now I have lesbian friends, I have gay friends, I have bi friends, I have trans friends, I've just told you I have intersex friends, I have queer friends, I have questioning friends, I have allies, and I have asexual friends, and I have a pansexual friend. So it's good to have as many friends from the whole spectrum so that you can understand the diversity of human sexuality. Okay, guys, enjoy Biweek. We're still gonna do other videos, but we won't do a lot of videos because we want to call this a holiday week, so we just take a break from many things. And so let's enjoy the week and go and treat her. Bye.